Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM. Start that over. Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM, WRDN. I'm Brian Winnekins, and we are at the NAFB convention virtually this year. And today we're going to be chatting with John Linder. He is president of the National Corn Growers Association. And thank you to our sponsors, including the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, BASF, Credenz Seeds, and Osteoplastics, along with the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association. John, thank you for joining us today. Well, 2020 has sure been an interesting year, to say the least, with the pandemic. And for corn growers, they could still use some COVID relief, couldn't they?
You know, that's a very true statement. It has been kind of a rough year in 2020 for corn farmers, and we appreciate the support that we've got from Congress, and really glad that they've looked at these opportunities to support the greater economy and protect our food production, as well as the opportunity for farmers to stay in the marketplace with and expand marketplaces with China and such. It's been an interesting year to watch it unfold, and I do believe some of the stimulus dollars have really impacted our ability to function well.
John, has the COVID actually provided maybe at least a unexpected increase in exports and in corn usage a little bit, maybe not on the ethanol side, but on the feed side, because of everyone suddenly realized, hey, I guess these farmers are kind of important here when they started not seeing stuff in the grocery store?
Well, certainly it raised an awareness. For years, a lot of people have said, we really don't have a lot to complain about in the U.S. because we just go to the grocery store and anticipate that every product is there. So what an eye-opener for everyone, including, me as a consumer, to see a few bare shelves in certain areas. But it's great to see the meats rebound, as maybe you referenced there. It's a critical relationship we have with livestock, in that, we get to provide feed and they get to value add, which brings tremendous value to the whole economic statewide and even across the United States. That value add is a critical piece. So in that regard, I think CFAP has worked well to keep some of our markets like that in a good position to be able to ramp up quickly. And I think livestock is a great story, and consumers realize they do have an appetite for that meat protein, and that meat protein worldwide is still on the rise. So it's a long-term play for everyone.
Talking with John Linder, he's president of the National Corn Growers Association from the NAFB convention this year. John, let's talk about trade policy. What are you hoping to see to maybe expand some of those new markets?
Well, trade is a critical piece for farmers because, market access is the real answer for rising out of any crisis, including this pandemic. It's where every corn farmer intends to derive their income, is directly from the market. And that's pretty evident when 33% of the U.S. corn farmers' economic return comes from exports, and that trade piece is so critical to that. And so when we look at that value as a greater piece to the U.S. economy, it's over $1 trillion to the GDP for the U.S. and it's jobs. 11% of U.S. employment and 22 million full and part-time jobs relate to agriculture, food, and the related industries. So, we really do feel that our trade policy is a critical piece of what we do, and we have great partners in that with the Grains Council and USTR administrations really do appreciate the effort that the corn growers put forward in that regard. And that brings our Wisconsin folks, our Wisconsin farmers, right along with us to Washington. And you've said it early, they're proud sponsors. We really appreciate the relationship we have at National with them as well.
Talking with John Linder, he's president of the National Corn Growers Association. John, with the new administration coming, Do you foresee maybe the United States potentially getting back into the Trans-Pacific Partnership? I know it's been named, it has a new name, but maybe trying to get back into that agreement, and would that help corn growers?
Oh, absolutely. There's 702 million people that live in Southeast Asia. That's a growing market, and as we had spoke about the meats, that meat protein is a common aspect to developing nations, and so they need feed products, and corn is a great staple. And not only can we move coarse grains there, but we can move DDGs, and you know 20 uh, 20 free trade agreements manage 40% of our market exports. So it's really imperative to have these trade agreements. So Southeast Asia is a critical focal point for us getting into back engaged, if you want to reference that way. We never really left the conversation, but we'd really like to be part of that trade agreement.
Talking with John Linder, president of the National Corn Growers Association this morning. John, let's turn our attention to ethanol. Obviously, in the very beginning of the pandemic, no one was driving, and so we had some issues with ethanol demand. But there's that next generation of ethanol.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, why are you, what are you expecting to see here, or would like to see moving forward in 2021? Yes, the E15 has been approved, but would you like to see that even higher?
Absolutely. E15 was a great move, a great recognition to the value of the fuel. That's one of the I don't know, somehow not well-known aspects of the RFS. It was more successful than anyone imagined because, we're producing more corn on less acres, and so the opportunity to bring efficiencies in as corn farmers in sustainability as far as the environment goes, that is a critical piece to this. But as you go to higher and higher blends of ethanol, it only showcases the value of that fuel to the environment, as well as it's renewable, and its environmental impact is great. And so when you increase the blends, you reduce the carbon footprint, and so the greenhouse gas emissions go down. And it's a bit of a, I like trying to reference, it's a bit of an untold story in every circle. A lot of folks don't realize the true value to the environment that ethanol brings with it, and it needs to be a focal point. So we have the Sherry Bustos introduced the Next Generation's Fuels Act. So we're getting out there in this lame duck session. It's a great opportunity to educate. And as we move into the new year, we'll be very focused on getting that bill moved forward, because it brings such great aspects to farming. It'll grind more corn, but it'll also do a lot for regulatory harmonization. And it's just a great opportunity for the consumer.
Well, John, we appreciate you joining us today from the NAFB convention. That's John Linder. He is president of the National Corn Growers Association. And again, a special thanks to Wisconsin corn growers for being part of our broadcasts. You're listening to WRDN.